Yes, I picked Moonraker for my number 10 favorite James Bond film. No, I'm not insane. I will do what I have done through 13 previous videos, back up my reasonings with facts. So let us begin the top 10 with the 1979 sci-fi classic, Moonraker.
Just like the Moonraker goes.
In the film, James Bond must stop evil industrialist Hugo Drax from wiping out the human race in a plot that is eerily similar to The Spy Who Loved Me. Drax's evil plan is to launch globes of deadly nerve gas from his space station that no one knew about until about the final 20 to 30 minutes of the film, to wipe out all human life on Earth. Then he will send his chosen few back to Earth to repopulate the planet, starting fresh. But with a lot of help, some coming from a most unlikely individual, Bond thwarts Drax's evil scheme and saves humanity once again. Only Roger Moore could have done this film, and his brand of humor is the least silly thing in this film, which is saying a lot. I attribute this film as the reason that I can tolerate Roger Moore as James Bond. And as always, the action is fantastic, and the pre-title sequence is one of the best in the series. Nothing beats a fight in freefall. The film also has one of my favorite John Barry scores ever. It really gives the film its grand, epic scope. Nobody does it better than John Barry. I like that Jaws came back for the film, but I'm pretty on the fence about him being turned into a good guy. I feel like a guy that big and menacing isn't supposed to be that goofy, but, I can handle it, I guess. Since the film was essentially a cash-in on the Star Wars craze, like many other sci-fi films of the time, you would think that the big laser battle in space would be a bit more spectacular. It just seems to be a little bit too short, although I'm glad it's not overlong and occasionally convoluted like the underwater battle in Thunderball. Oh, and how the hell does nobody know about this space station until like the last 20 minutes of the movie? How do you launch a freaking space city without getting the attention of the whole planet? That's just one huge plot hole that's always bothered me about this film. And lastly, I think it's a huge cop-out that Bond never gets to use a laser gun. I've always been really disappointed that he spends the whole finale just running around punching everybody. I mean, the girl gets to use a laser gun, why not James Bond? And you put him in space, why not give him a laser gun? I think the great thing about this film is you can ignore it if you wish. At the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, it says the next film would be For Your Eyes Only. Well, we all know that wasn't the case, but in the 30-some-odd years since Moonraker was released, they never bothered to go back and change that, whether digitally or whatever, at the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, to say Moonraker, James Bond will return in Moonraker. So, if you don't like Moonraker and don't wish to count it, you don't have to. You can just skip right on over after The Spy Who Loved Me and watch For Your Eyes Only. I, on the other hand, will count it. I've been watching this film ever since I was a child. I used to watch this film at least once a month, if not more often. For the longest time, I would probably say it was my absolute favorite James Bond film. I was a kid, what did I know? But this is one of the few James Bond films I actually own on Blu-ray, and I am not ashamed to admit it. It's like the 1989 Batman film. I grew up watching the film so much, so I have a great fondness for it. No matter how crummy it may be looking back, I still love it, and I probably always will love the film. Yes, I know it's schlock, but damn it, it's the best kind of schlock there is. It's just so bad that it's good. So with that, I give the film 4 out of 5 stars. So that about wraps it up for Moonraker. This was my first sci-fi movie review, but it definitely won't be the last, hint hint. And of course, if you were paying attention to the previous video, this is my first video in color. So from here on in, it's full color. So join me next time for the number 9 entry on the countdown, which is another Bond film that I feel gets a lot of undeserved hatred. See you then.